What do you think about Trump? Can you give us a Tarusic word for him? Without being too diplomatic.
I was going to say uncivilized, but I thought that might not. But just the personal manner strikes me as not entirely as agreeable or pleasant as one would like to see in a distinguished American political figure. I had the great honor of meeting 4 or 5 American presidents during my time in the US and having detailed conversations with both the Bushes, with Clinton, much more briefly with Obama. I mean, these are people of certain class, a certain distinction, and it's not politics. There are 2 Republicans in that list and 2 Democrats. But there was a certain both political heft, statesman-like gravitas, and intellectual quality that I find woefully lacking in this gentleman. That's the personal way.
Asking you what the purpose was of your delegation, what messages you've been giving to others, and how you've been received in the countries you've been at.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, well, first of all, good to see you all here. Good morning. I have the privilege of leading this. We can't really call it an all-party delegation, but a multi-party delegation, because we have 41 parties in our lower house of parliament, and 5 of them are represented in my delegation. We also have our former ambassador in Washington with us, and we have been going to these countries as part of a sort of, if you like, a group of delegation. There are 7 going to different regions. Our region was the countries you mentioned: Guyana, Panama, Colombia, Brazil, and the US in that order. With, in fact, early morning, I beg your pardon, late night, when we first landed in New York, we went to the 9/11 memorial. And that, I think, set the tone for the trip, because we wanted to situate this problem right there in solidarity with victims of terrorism from around the world. As you remember, in 9/11, a lot of nationalities lost their lives. And for us, that became then a sort of leitmotif of our travels. Our message everywhere, and 3 of the countries I mentioned to you are Security Council members, either current or proximate next year. Panama being next year. And then the situation, I beg your pardon, Colombia being next year. Panama and Brazil and Guyana already on it. Right. And then for us, the message was very simply to enhance their understanding and appreciation for what we had just been through, and to seek their solidarity in our fight against terrorism. And there, I can tell you, Ken, we got literally everywhere an enormously positive response. The one country where there had been a setback is too dramatic a word, but there'd been an unfortunate statement issued during our operation against the terror attacks was Colombia, which had surprised everybody by issuing a statement of heartfelt condolences for the Pakistani victims. When we sort of situated matters in context and explained exactly what had happened, and in particular, the fact that our initial strike was purely retribution, and we didn't touch a single civilian target, government target, even a Pakistani military target. We just hit terror camps of designated terrorist organizations whose addresses are known, whose names are on the UN list, as well as the State Department's terrorist designated list. When we explained all of that, they withdrew their statement. And that, I think, in the end, was a useful win for us. But that small little sort of wrinkle apart, it's been, I must say, very positively smooth sailing everywhere else. We've been meeting everywhere: the executive branch, government officials, legislators, think tanks and policy wonks, media, and through the media, the general public.
There's a public diplomacy element to this as well as...
And everybody, I mean, right across the board, has been supportive. It's been our team is multi-partisan, as I said, but so has been the response. We've had people in government and opposition in all of these countries saying to us how much they appreciate what India is doing and how much they support India's right to defend itself against terror.
Has India done this sort of outreach in the past, and how is this similar or different from that? Well,
there was a similar outreach conducted under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh after the 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack. And that really was, as you remember, horrendous. 170 people killed in a protracted terrorist assault over 3 days in 5 locations in Mumbai. That was a terrible, terrible terrorist attack, and we went around the world. I can't say we because I wasn't in that, but the all-party delegations did.